Welcome to the future of luxury travel, where cryptocurrency meets paradise. Introducing Bitcoin, Ben all-inclusive beach resort, nestled on the pristine shores of El Salvador. Every room is a gateway to adventure, complete with your personal 4x4 vehicle, scooter, and jet ski. Picture yourself cruising along scenic coastal roads, feeling the thrill of freedom. Glide across crystal-clear waters on your private jet ski, embracing the rush of adrenaline. Return to your luxurious suite where comfort meets cutting-edge technology. Indulge in world-class amenities from gourmet dining to rejuvenating spa treatments. Experience the vibrant nightlife with entertainment options that cater to the most discerning tastes. Invest in a resort that's not just keeping up with the times, but defining the future of travel. Join us in creating the ultimate paradise. Contact us at 562-526-0813 and become part of the future of luxury travel.
And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite truck driver, Skinny, half the guy I used to be, truck driver, Bitcoin Ben, here with Christopher Sullivan. What's up, brother? How are you?
I didn't know you were a Stone Temple Pilots singer, Ben. Half the man you used to be.
Yeah, I'm half. You don't want me to sing, brother. I'll break every window and mirror in this place.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Ben.
Yeah, I think we originally met in, I think Miami or Naples. I don't remember which event.
It was probably Naples, but definitely have met in Miami at both events there. Missed you at the last one in Naples. I think you were in El Salvador, perhaps.
I had health issues. Yeah, I lost so much weight that I actually found out that once you hit a certain level of being attractive, that you can actually go into a coma from it. And
really?
Oh yeah, I was so handsome that I slipped into a coma.
It's a good problem to have, Ben.
Well, I mean, I was only there for maybe 1 or 2 days. I guess I wasn't that handsome. But
I don't either, but good to see you. You do look handsome. So,
so do you, brother.
Thank you. Not bad for 8 years of 24/7, no sleep.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so with you, brother. It's after a few years of actually being in cryptos and Bitcoin, you age about 100 years every year.
It really, when you look at it from a comparative standpoint to equities, bonds, and options and stuff, it's almost triple the hours, and it's more than triple the volatility. Now, when we first started, it was actually more than 7 times the volatility. Volatility has declined in the last 7-8 years, especially the last 2-3 years. That's why when we have events like we've had the last 24 hours, I get super stoked and excited.
Oh, I know. When I woke up this morning, I saw it at 92,000 or 93,000.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I couldn't. Whenever I went to buy it, it was at 95, which really anything under 100 is a gift.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a gift regardless.
Oh, yeah.
What I've learned so I'm 43 now, Ben, which is really sad. But I've now been managing money.
You're a youngin'.
I've been doing this 20 years. And
wow.
In Bitcoin since 2013 personally, and then professionally since 2017. But have traded everything you could imagine algorithmically, but also by back when I started, we had tickets that you'd write the trades on for oil and options. So I was very, very epic and run that down to
sell.
It's been a really humbling and gracious experience to be part of learning the movement towards electronic, but obviously in this transition from what I would call more active brokerage investment, which I think was better for most investors than this managed bullshit box of colors. You don't even know what the fuck you own. I don't think that's really what people ought to be investing in long term. But what I have learned is like when you compartmentalize via strategy, because there's really no diversity in asset classes, there are correlations that vary, but ultimately price is determined by only two things, which is psychology and liquidity. So what I've delineated is to compartmentalize, always leaving a sleeve to take advantage of stuff like this, both personally and in our hedge funds. And that's exactly what we did all night. So,
yeah, I don't blame you. Before we really get in, deep, would you actually tell people who you are, what you do?
sure. I'm a co-founder and portfolio manager of Hyperion Decimus, which was one of the early adopters in the institutional asset management side. We run two hedge funds. Our flagship is a multi-strategy absolute return fund. And then our newest fund, which opened last year in partnership with CoinDesk, is a single strategy long short fund. So both offerings actually go really well together. One is more attuned to like people with brain damage that need this volatility compression. And then our flagship is really dialed in for people for, looking for long-term allocations in the space, but should come after healthy allocation to Bitcoin itself. We're not trying to replace that capital, right? That if it's between us and Bitcoin, you choose Bitcoin. But once people are looking at, hey man, I don't really want my sort of risk capital in the stock market anymore, that's where we come in and offer basically triple the upside with the same volatility as the stock market. So that's what I do now. I have series 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, 24, 30, 31, 63, 66, 215.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I can keep going. Charter.
Like a rap sheet.
Charter market technician, which is a 3-year program. Anywho, long story short, I, on paper, am supposed to know what I'm doing. But as any good man would say, I know nothing.
Well, the reason I actually know nothing is that my wife used to actually tell me that all the time.
It's good to be reminded of that. But as you have, and this, Ben, like as you grow older and you have ego deaths and you get real precise and you're real disciplined, when it comes to money management, it's like, it makes it so much more exciting. And I really feel for people that allow themselves to have emotional responses to an illusion, right? Because a fiat valuation of your assets, whether it's real estate, gold, or Bitcoin, is nothing but an illusion.
Yeah, it's everything about our U.S. dollar currency is an illusion. Mm-hmm. It's literally printed on paper, and it's just ink and a fancy paper. And when you realize that, when you explain, all right, that it's easy for people to counterfeit our money, mm-hmm. or our dollar, then you realize that, well, then all of it's actually counterfeit. Yes. Because if it's easy to print and we have no idea how many are out there, real or fake, then how do you value something when you don't know the supply?
It's very incredible. Now, mathematically, fiat has already collapsed, right? When we're thinking from 71, 13, I mean, we've literally lost since 2020 plus or minus 41, 42% of actual purchasing power, right? 26 as counted by the government CPI. And then
hang on a second. Since 2020?
Yes.
We've lost 40%.
A little above that, yeah. Yeah.
That's like 5 years.
Well, it's like 49 months, actually.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
But they can't think about it. Mathematically, it's actually kind of incredible it's not more, because roughly 85% of all the fiat that's ever been in circulation was issued in that period. So losing half of what was issued in valuation is actually not a bad trade-off. When just looking at the raw statistics. I think that the impetus here is wanting people to awaken to the truth, which is there exists this protected class, and it's been there for a long, long time. You know, some count from 790 AD, some count from Babylon, right? I really count from, you know, the period from late 1700s into War of 1812, which is effectively when the Bank of England was taken over fully. And if you count, you know, counting from
Napoleon.
and he made a really good, long-lasting point of history is a lie agreed upon, right? And effectively, when the Rockefellers et al. Took over education, they rewrote everything. So what people think they know of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, pick a category. What's been taught post 1920s is largely false propaganda and psyop level gaslighting. So I, you know, as a historian, I've been able to sift through and in my hunt for truth and find enough aggregate data to upend those lies. But it's not, most people don't have that in their consciousness yet.
Yeah. It's, if people knew our real American history, we would have got rid of the Federal Reserve years ago. And the only reason it's hanging around, and really what I think Trump is going to do or allow to happen, is it's basically going to be the Federal Reserve against our actual Bitcoin. Because Trump, once our price is really rising, then the Federal Reserve interest rate is going to have to compete against that rise. Mm-hmm. And good luck with that.
Yeah, it'll implode the bond market, but interest rates are going higher. People shouldn't fool themselves.
Absolutely.
When the Fed lowered rates, the Fed funds rate, which is effectively just money they're paying banks that have access to the Fed discount window, rates went up 100 bips. So we could easily see the back end curve, you know, on the long bond go to 7.5, mortgages go to 9.5. And in fact, like that's a good thing. People don't understand how money works and how more importantly, velocity of money works, and that you get such horrible malinvestment as a result of zero interest rate policies for a long period of time, that the sooner and quicker we take our medicine, get off a debt-based system onto a value-based system or asset-backed system, the better it is for our children and grandchildren. Yes, is it going to be a destructive move in a lot of markets? Of course, but any sort of transition period into something more meaningful is not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be easy.
Would you explain to the people what it's going to look like whenever the Federal Reserve treasuries and the bonds collapse? What will that look like? I mean, how's that going to affect the average Joe?
Not well. Not well initially, right? Very well post fact, right? I can come at this from a couple different angles, but let's look at first the psychological one, right? We, and you know better than most, Ben, we are debt slaves. No 3 ways from Sunday. We're debt slaves. The Social Security number's like our slave registry number, right? And those who don't know maritime alloy law should do their homework and understand that USA Inc. as a corporation owns us like chattel. That's literally the legal status. And then you look at securities, right? They've been dematerialized since the 60s, and you currently already own nothing and are not aware of it. Klaus Schwab said you'll be happy, but most people aren't aware that their bank accounts, their equity accounts, their bond accounts, and 99% of assets are confiscatable, including someone's home. So if you got a mortgage, they can take it from you. If you don't have a mortgage and you're not homestead, they can take it from you. If you've got a Fidelity account, they can take it from you. So what likely is to occur mechanically is instead of a bailout, Ben, it'll be a bail-in. And David Webb has a great book on this. It's a quick read called The Great Taking. And that actually walks through the legal processes that began in 1964, culminating in 2010 under Obama, where we lost our property rights to our assets. This is the case in Europe. It's also the case in Asia. There was about a 1 to 4 year delta on those exact same laws being put in place. Who were they put in place by? The central banks. So I think it could be very detrimental if this is done in a way that does not take back issuance to Treasury, which is what John F. Kennedy tried to have done, which he actually did do and did issue effectively a version of Lincoln's greenbacks, which was another period in time where we tried to take back issuance. So I think people need to have both cash, Bitcoin, gold, silver in small denominations outside of the system of control, because there's no way that stuff inside the box is going to go well.
Yes, I completely agree with that. All right, hang on one second, guys. We have a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.
And we're back. All right, welcome back, everyone. All right, Christopher. I got. Should I call you Chris or Christopher?
Dude, I answer to many names: dickhead, baldy. Yeah,
I'm with you. Hey, you got more than I got, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up to you soon.
Well, like I've always said, just tell them that you rubbed it off on the headboard.
I'm borrowing that. I mean, that's a good one.
Exactly. But how long do you think we got before the shit hits the fan?
Shit's hitting the fan now.
That's what I thought. Sorry, guys. I was trying to give you some good news.
Well, that is good news. And this is the whole reason I'm even willing to be charitable with my time to do this with a good friend like you, Ben, is to empower people with strength, awareness, and truth. Like, yeah, it can be dark, it can be hard, but too fucking bad. Like, get over yourself. You're not to get too heavy, but most people shouldn't think they're going to get to retire. If you prepare for all of the worst, you not only are stronger psychologically, but you give yourself a chance to pivot and attack in those environments where most people aren't ready to do that. And ultimately, you'll be the better for it. Like, when you look at how weak and stubborn and maybe even stupid our population is, think back to World War I, when vast sums of men were getting gassed to death and like basically melting behind their masks. Or in World War II, where we, the Allies, starved to death 2-3 million German POWs just because we were pissed off. Like, this is such a luxurious and prosperous time relative to our recent history, right? Or Civil War, brother on brother, Revolutionary War. 8% of the revolutionaries of the colonies said, oh, we're going to take on the empire, right? Which was 20-year-old James Madison, 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson. Like, the bravery and the courage of other men in the face of much worse than what we're facing is a wipeout of the financial system. Okay, well, if you're willing to work, you have skills, and you've got strong mind, strong heart, you're going to do well. Because it doesn't matter if something disappears in the interweb, which it's all not there anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you log in your bank account on a DOS-backed Web 2 interface, it's not there. Go try and take it out. See what happens. So I'm here to just disclose, but hopefully inspire and empower. Yeah, it's dark and shit is hitting the fan. The good news is what Donald is doing on the dollar side is going to give us more runway, right? The bricks are completely screwed here. Against the rupee, we're all-time lows. Mexican peso broke 21. The Canadian dollar's under 70 cents. Aussie dollar. So we've got run room because higher rates and tariffs actually protect the dollar. And that's actually what this game is about, not just equalizing the trade deficits. And so people need to look at history and understand from 1776 all the way until the income tax, post 1913, the number one revenue source and the revenue source that built all of the infrastructure going west was what? Tariffs. Tariffs are a good thing, especially because the United States has been gutted since the 70s, gutted on purpose by the same people printing the money. And people stolen our IP and take advantage of our technology, our legal system, and our consumer base for far too long. So whatever the news is telling you, most often the opposite is the truth.
Yeah, it's I've actually explained that several times. That the most prosperous time in America is when we didn't have any taxes. We ran on tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
And
post Jackson, when he got rid of the central bank.
Yep. And it's there's a reason that works because, well, number one, your taxation is slavery. It's just what percentage of a slave are you? Are you 10% slave? Are you 20% slave? But if you're taxed, you're a slave. And it's Trump when he says that we're going to make America great again. Well, what he means is we ain't going back to 1973. We're going back to 1849.
Mm-hmm.
You
know? And it's the right move. It's the only move here, right? Because if you kick the can and let these globalist policies continue to permeate, ultimately it's still going to combust, but it's going to combust under their timeline and their agenda. And then poof, your bank account's gone, full bail into the financial system. There's just the central banks, and here's your CBDC, and nothing will ever be the same. It's already very obvious. They are anti-fertility, anti-health. They're anti-competitive, right? And so
anti-human.
They are transhumanists, yes. Yep. Many of them, you could argue, are demons, Nephilim, extraterrestrial. There's many words for the same thing, right? Described over history. And instead of allowing the media or anything you're facing, including frequencies you're experiencing, to bring you down to fear, shame, doubt, uncertainty, like just be empowered by it. Be brave. Remember our forefathers and what they had to face, which is infinitely worse than these 5-6 SDE commies. Remember, communists it's the philosophy of envy. These men are not brave, they're not courageous, and they're certainly not strong.
They're weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what I have said for years is the problem with America is we got too many fucking pussies with penises. And we need some real men. And this is not anti-woman. All right, I'm a guy, so I know how to be a guy. I don't know how to be a woman. All right, so I'm strictly talking to the guys.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of men need to get their balls out of their wife's purse and put them back on.
Mm-hmm. For the benefit of their life. Yeah.
Absolutely. Your whole family. Because I honestly believe that the reason that our country is where it is the men got weak.
Yeah. Good men do nothing. That's how things fall apart. It's throughout history. I believe it was either Plato or Socrates who said that first. Maybe even Cicero in De Republica. It's ignorance of public affairs. You're ruled by tyrants, right?
Yep.
And the globalists have done a masterful job of distraction and putting everybody in destitution. If you look at the statistics from 71, you've got a 5.5 times increase in median salary, but every other good increased somewhere between 14 and 55 times, right? So the quality of life, even though we've got these drone machines that are basically nuclear weapons, psyop level mind fuckery from an EMF perspective and frequency perspective, our quality of life is significantly less. Like I don't know exactly how old you are, Ben, but in the 70s, one working household had a nice car and a 3.2 and didn't worry about putting food on the table.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm almost friggin' 50. I got about a month and some change, and I'm going to be 50. I know I look 20. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. It's
22.
Oh yeah. It's the hair, and I can remember the early 80s. My dad worked at the post office. Now, mind you, my mom had a little side gig, so she didn't get bored. But we had a nice house. We had a couple of cars. We had a boat. And we'd head out on like fishing trips or like something like that. We had a happy life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't do that now. Even working at the post office, which is an overpaid job, trust me, my dad worked there. He was the laziest motherfucker I ever met. I love him to death, but shit, that man would fall asleep while he was asleep. I mean,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. Now, you have said the word frequency twice. I didn't know you were woo-woo because I'm all about the woo-woo, the real world.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a gradual process. I kind of, I'm a musician too, Ben. So
that did it.
Yeah, I have. I don't want to say perfect pitch, but if you played a note, I can say what it is. So I'm aware of the circle of fifths, how that plays into the harmonics, auto harmonics, and then the sequencing of it, the fractals, because it actually is the same thing in price action. And then I got into Bikram and did that kind of stuff. Got into basically meditation, and then got like New Age, the woo-woo-y stuff. But then have now done a lot of frequency healing as well, like the cathedrals that were built in pre-Dark Ages. Those were healing centers, either via the bells or the organs themselves. And then all of a sudden, the cabal comes along and changes the frequency to A440, which is literally demonic, for lack of a better word. Where 432, 528, those are the God frequencies. What's running through our bodies, like people are insanely retarded. How do you think your phone works?
Yeah.
Your circuitry from your red blood cells is the transformer that they're conducting and transferring energy on. And then blue screens. I could literally, diatribe forever on this, but frequency is the most important aspect. The second most important is the ability to conjure money. But they have largely, it's a lost century of technology that's been used against us.
I I honestly have to say you are one of the only men I have ever found myself sexually attracted to. After what you just said, that was the perfect explanation of like, hey, right, exactly. Here's reality in about a minute and a half.
I tried. And then, so much of it's distraction. So I did, it was gradually, then suddenly, right? Just how bankruptcies occur. This was hey, I understand this. Hey, I question that, understand this, question that. And you just kind of, I've always had that lust for truth. Still knowing I know nothing, but there are just not debatable things like quantum entanglement, quantum physics debunks Newtonian physics, like black and white.
Thank you.
Yeah. And when you get to a computation level as a quantitative portfolio manager, that gives me another leg up on my, call it, transition into awareness on the quantum side. So it's a really, really neat combination of spirituality and science.
Yeah. I was explaining to a friend how retarded Albert Einstein really was. He goes, it's absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And when you understand that, you're like, wait, that's what all of our science is based on.
It's as the food pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, don't eat eggs, Ben. Oh, red meat causes your heart attacks. Bullshit. Like, come on. Seed oils are better for you than beef tallow. Anybody who fell for that, like, I forgive you. But if you want to survive and thrive, it's time to get out of your own way. And the same people that did that, pushing the Newtonian and the Einstein, were the same people pushing the food pyramid, same people pushing the bioweapons, which are both vaccines and these so-called viruses, which really don't exist in the way we're taught. It's like one part pathogen, one part nanotechnology. That's what they're calling viruses, right? There's no single cell organism there's no such thing as a single celled organism that lives forever. That's just not the case. It's amazing people believe that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. It's how I've explained that the earth creates oil.
Yeah. It's actually renewable.
Right. It isn't dinosaur juice. All right. That is the biggest crock of shit, and how anybody believes it. And I hear quote unquote, educated people going, well, once we get off of the fossil fuels, and I'm like, all right, if it was from dinosaurs, why doesn't oil have any dinosaur DNA? Why?
Because it's hydrocarbons, Ben, not fossils.
Right. Right. And how is the oil under the water? What do you call it? Water table? Yeah. How the hell did it get under it?
Those are all important questions, buddy. I mean, I can answer those, but
I know.
I've been an investor in both shale and oil wells since 2010. Learned a lot about mineral rights, and every real oil man will tell you it's all bullshit. Now, it's a very, very useful resource, and if done properly, refined properly, doesn't really create any impactful pollution, and in fact releases carbon dioxide in a good way to provide food for plants, because that's what plants eat. But it's also to fix the price. Largely the reason the cabal got rid of all of Tesla's technologies and those before Tesla because we had electric cars 1902. There's plenty of photos of it. There were even battery replacement stations all along US 1 and from New Jersey to Long Island. And there's tons of photo evidence of that, of men changing these large batteries in their funny get-ups. And then look at the World's Fairs, which weren't built for the World's Fairs purposes. Those existed in America beforehand and all throughout Europe. They all had millions and millions of light bulbs before power stations existed. How did they do that, Ben?
Yeah. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and the 1904 World's Fair was the grand revealing of the Electric City.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there are still remnants of the world's the event in St. Louis.
Yes.
And it's we have been lied to so much that we don't even know what the truth really is. And I mean, luckily we have people like you, people like me and others who are willing to go, no, that's not right. Here's the evidence that that's not correct.
Right.
And
it's much easier, Ben, to use scientific method, which is null hypothesis, right? As a skeptic and as a contrarian, because you can pretty simplistically, or at least forensically, prove something is not. It's very, very difficult to prove something is. So I would never boast and say, oh, I know this is, but what I can do is know that it isn't, right? And that's where that posturing for my entire team as humble contrarians and skeptics, that's why our client base is so loyal, and we constantly bring in new clients into our funds, because basically, yeah, the numbers are good too, but you want people who act and behave like that and understand that to run money, because hubris is how you get smoked in any aspect of life, right? And always being able to back away and prepare for the worst, prepare for the best, and live to fight another day. That's all you have to do, and you're going to do fine in managing assets. And I think that that's a position I would advise people to be in. Be skeptical. Don't try and know what it is. Just focus on undermining your own like psyop, mass formation psychosis that's been done to you, and you are forgiven for. They've done it with frequencies. They've done it with toxins, both sprayed in the air, put in the water, put in the food. And it's not anyone's individual fault, but you should lust for understanding and truth. That's a natural, position that people should live in.
yeah, one more question, because I value your time and I don't want to hold you up too much. Is what can the average person do to prepare for the shit show that we're in right now?
Good. I have a good list. 6 months of bills and small denomination gold. As much as you can afford.
Would you explain that on gold?
Yeah. So effectively, I'm getting to Bitcoin second, because this is just to cover bases. You want 2 gram, 1 gram, 1 ounce silver, 2 gram, 1 gram gold, little bars, and just 1 ounce silver coins, specifically in like Canadian, US, or English, Australian denominations people would recognize, just in case you need to barter with these. And then one part of that 6 months, a stack of bills. You want to keep them low, like 20s, 10s, and 5s, because those will be barterable. Once you've done that, then it's, okay, I need to understand Bitcoin. I need to pull it off exchange, and I likely need to have it multiple devices. The best thing to do would probably have a ledger and also a treasure. So you're diversifying your hardware. You're also being forced to learn to new hardware. Once you've done that, then you get into your retirement accounts. And this is where, I'm not a fiduciary of someone that's not my client. So this is just my subjective view. You basically want to only leave in the bank's 401ks, IRAs, the amount that you're willing to let be confiscated.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that, I mean, I have significant portions still in that space, because you can't have all the eggs in one basket. That's just malpractice. And so let's say it's like, I won't leave like 500K in a checking account, right? That's insane.
Yeah.
But there might be whatever, half that are just sitting there. Okay, it's gone. Fine. It's just what's going to happen, because that's going to go to zero anyways over the next 5 to 10 years. So
yeah,
if they take it. Then it's 6 months food and water. That can be a mix. Hopefully you want to have autonomous. In Florida, we're lucky because we can all have multiple water wells. I've got 2 at my house. It's cheap to put them in. They're $800 to $1,000, and you have your own water supply, and then have a couple different types of water filters. Then 6 months plus of dry food storage. Whether you go to Mike Adams, the health ranger, he's got all of the best organic dried food.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of him. He's really a good human being. Really, you can learn a lot. He's actually got a prepping site. I don't remember the exact web address. And then, I hate to go here, but it's ammo, right? Combination of 5.56, 9mm, and either 20 gauge or 10 gauge should be good enough. If you need beyond that, then might as well just be like, okay, nuclear Armageddon, I'd rather be dead, right? You don't want to
no doubt.
Do that. And then have analog walkie-talkies with your neighbors, brothers, sisters, family, so that you can communicate. Have old school analog radio. Have a getaway bag with waters, first aid kit, whatever is competent to put in that bag and that you can leave with. And then have, either nat gas generator, diesel generator, or some combination of that with solar, so that you can have off-grid power production, have the same for charging for your devices. And literally you're just checking the boxes, and once you've done that, which I've been doing effectively my whole life, and I just add to different ones as I need to, I don't stress out about this anymore at all. Like, I want to bring it. My kids are 9 and 11. The sooner this big great reset occurs, the better they're going to have a better chance that you and I did, Ben.
Oh yeah.
And I know I'm going to work till I'm dead. I've accepted that. I'm not trying to pretend that I get my Social Security. You and I aren't getting our Social Security, dude. It ain't there anyways. Obama took all the money out of there.
Hang on 1 second. What if I told you that I knew for a fact that Trump was going to recapitalize the Social Security lockbox with actual Bitcoin?
That would be mother effing amazing. And
yes,
yeah, it'd be like by divine right kind of thing. At that magnitude.
I was out at a place, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, called Mar-a-Lago, and I heard whispers of what was probably going to happen if and when he was elected. This was a while back, and basically every social program, like Social Security, retirement, like Medicare and all that, is going to be recapitalized using the Bitcoin. Because if you think about it, it's a perfect idea. Why wouldn't you? Because then you could choose to contribute to your account, and if you chose, they just actually go out and buy Bitcoin and put it in your account and let it grow at the natural pace of Bitcoin over your life. And it's it's linked with, from what I hear, Trump is partnering with every electric company and every oil company, and basically going to make the oil companies, because our need for oil is shrinking and shrinking fast. Huh?
You think oil demand is down?
Oh, I'm actually talking over the next 25 years. Yeah, I'm not talking right now.
Okay.
It's right now we're at oil peak. You know, I mean, we're at the tippy top of usage, because people don't realize that oil doesn't just, go in your car engine and, create fuel. It's in everything we use. His hat has oil in it.
Mm-hmm. This shirt does. Like everything from your ibuprofen to your vitamin C to your hat, your underwear, your shoes. It's a phenomenal resource, but should be incorporated into a real energy infrastructure, right? We can pull energy free out of the air, and there should be a combo. And then natural gas is actually the cleanest form. And we have, in America, we literally have infinity. We literally have infinity natural gas. So the good news is, of all this like darkness that is coming, I don't actually even look at it that, Ben. And then just back to the unfunded liabilities, it's north of 200 trillion. Honest to God, no one should have a right to any of it. I think the Social Security folks who are on it now should get back the money they paid in, call it a day. There should be no such thing as health care. Everybody should get their ass into shape, eat well, invest in local farms and organic farming, and too fucking bad. You're not going to burden my family being a
I love you. I love you.
It's the maximum of like gluttony and sinfulness to burden a population, especially young people, where the number one expenditure of, go to usdebtclock.org, and you'll notice that Doge has saved like 32 billion already. The number one capex is Medicare, Medicaid. That is so shameful. We should be hung for treason against our own bloodline.
Yep.
Honest to God. And too bad. This is too late in the game to worry about what's already been stolen from us and focus collective consciousness on improving and getting better. And to me, Ben, if they do recapitalize it with Bitcoin, that just means we're going to have to live in a dual world.
Well,
and I don't think that's possible or sustainable for a long period of time.
The reason that they're actually talking about it is because with AI and robotics and the number of job losses that are actually coming, actually right now and over the next like 5 years, that maybe 40 to 50% of jobs are going to be gone in about 5 years. And they're basically going to, this is how it's going to be, guys. The nation is going to mine a bunch of Bitcoin. And just like Alaska, how everyone in Alaska receives a check from the oil, well, that's going to be America. It's the every legal American will receive a check, or actually not really a check. They'll probably get paid in Bitcoin over the Lightning Network every month for a what do they call it? Like
universal income.
Yeah, a universal basic income that is actually.
That sounds a shitload like communism.
Oh, I agree. No, I'm with you, brother. I'd, I'd, I hate the idea.
Okay.
I hate I hate anything that moves away from personal responsibility.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying they're talking about.
Mhm.
I don't agree with it because if you let someone be lazy, they'll get lazier.
Look at the majority of the population.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
And-
Can people hire you?
Yeah, so you can go. The only limitation on hiring is really ridiculous, unfounded regulations. So I can represent anybody who is an accredited investor, which is they've lowered the threshold, right? But a lot of people between their 401ks and IRAs and stuff have a million of investable assets, which is one of the.
Does that include your house or exclude your house?
I believe it excludes house, but they change it all the time. But I think it's like 75K of income and then 1 million of investable assets.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody that's not going to get me fined or arrested to represent, I will do my best to represent. We can be contacted at www.hyperiondecimus.com. It's HYPERIONDECIMUS.com. There's a contact us thing, and you can populate a question that sends our team an email. Typically, that comes back to me, and I can respond. But obviously, I'm here to give and provide and any guidance and help, or even just strengthen your own resolve and will. That's good enough for me. I'm here to do. Because I think building community is one of the biggest processes we need to get ahead of to make sure that we're all stronger as we go through this. Like I'm not some freak. I'm 5'10", but I'm okay. I've paid in millions into Social Security already at 43 years old. It's gone. Okay, a certain number of my checking accounts gone. I currently don't pay for healthcare because it's sick care. I go to a naturopathic and homeopathic doctor, which is cash pay. So you just have to go gone, and just accept it and move on. The sooner you do that, the stronger your resolve is going to be to move forward. And then be healthy, be kind to your neighbor, love your loved ones, and just get up every morning and kick ass.
That's exactly what I say. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself and say, I'm going to kick more ass today than I did yesterday.
Yep. Don't let anybody make you feel bad or weak. Just get up and kick ass.
I love that mentality. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, man, thanks so much. And I am definitely going to have you on. And I actually do a show on Wednesday evenings sometimes that's like full woo-woo for like 3 hours, where we go into frequency and the origins of humanity, the Elohim, all the good stuff. So I will definitely have to have you on that show because I got a sneaking suspicion that you may have some information on that.
I'm conscious of a few things, yes.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, brother, and I love you. And it's I'm having an event up in Nashville, and once I get it locked in, we're actually going to send you some information, and we'd love to have you up there helping us help people.
Would be honored. Yeah, thanks for having me today. I'll make myself available whenever you need me, brother. Love you too.
All right, brother. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, man. See you.
All right, bye-bye. And we're back. All right, guys and gals. Yeah, I mean, Chris is literally one of the real guys, the real people. You noticed that he didn't sugarcoat shit. He wasn't trying to tell you that all of the flowers are about to bloom. And we're going to go through some very, 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 very rough times. But this is what's coming. All right, this is what's here, folks. Welcome to the ever-present now. Shout out to Mikey, by the way. Mikey, if you're watching. It's really going to be okay. We're just going to go through a little bit of a shit show prior to that. Hey, Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Nathan, is he here?
He's not there.
Oh, he's not here? Oh, he left. Oh, okay, that's all right. If you want, or if you're interested in getting a loan to buy some Bitcoin at the club, at our clubs, we are now able to help get you a loan to buy Bitcoin. You can literally Michael Saylor this shit. You can get a loan for like 25 grand. You pay it over, I want to say like maybe 3 or 4 years, and you can buy Bitcoin right now. I think it's still under 100. Hey, could you get me the telephone number that they should call to actually get our loans? I thank you. I think she has it. Or oh, okay. Well, I'll have that telephone number here in a second for you guys. And it's almost like, why not? You know, I mean, if it's literally, it's 99,000 right now. We went from 94,000. Oh, all right. Hang on one second. 941. Hang on one second. I'll put it in the chat too. All right. Hang on one second. Oh, I hate apples. Oh, good Lord. Come on. Apples suck. All right. 941 413 6920. There we go. All right. If you're interested in one of our actual Bitcoin loans, go ahead and give us a call. And if you want, you can leave a message, and we will call you back. Now, not only do we help you get a loan, we can also help you buy your Bitcoin if you have cash. All right. And here's the key. As a member of our club, it's no KYC. So you can literally purchase the Bitcoin that you want, and the government don't know you got it. Because as a club member, how our club is structured, you can actually buy as much Bitcoin as you want. And it's no KYC, folks. Welcome to the future. And that's what we are going to that's what we offer at our clubs and at our resorts. Everyone have a hang on. Is the BTC buying membership still $99 a month? No, actually, I decided to drop it to just $49.99 a month because I thought $99 was a little high, and Yeah. So a regular member, just any regular member, because that's our regular actual like monthly membership fee. It is $49.99 a month. So it was going to be nice. See, this is what I do. I announce our Bitcoin purchasing memberships $99, and then I'm like, well, that's a lot of money. That's $100. I know it only says 99, but really it's $100. Let's be honest. All right. And it seemed like a lot of money. It's like, I'd rather them get half of that back in Bitcoin, So we crunched some numbers and said, you know what, screw it. Let's just let our regular members also buy it. And so it's just a regular membership now. And because, we got to help people, folks. We literally we have to help people. All right, wrong one. There we go. So if you're interested in a loan to buy Bitcoin, or if you want to buy some Bitcoin, no KYC. Now, there is a $2,500 minimum on the Bitcoin purchase because of the fees we pay to be non-KYC. We got to pay a little extra juice so that we can get it private. But it's worth privacy has a price. And I'm okay with that, as long as I can keep myself private. All right, everyone have a great day, and give us a call, 941-413-6920. Everyone, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Are you ready to unlock the potential of cryptocurrency? Welcome to Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, the premier destination for crypto enthusiasts and investors worldwide. Our mission? To demystify cryptocurrency and create a supportive community where you can learn, network, and grow. Imagine being part of a thriving crypto ecosystem in various cities around the world. In our first year, we're establishing physical hubs in key cities and launching an informative website. You'll have access to exclusive events, expert-led sessions, and a wealth of resources at your fingertips. Year 2 brings expanded educational programs and a mentorship system to pair crypto newbies with seasoned investors. We're not just a club, we're a movement. Our annual crypto conference will put us on the map as a global crypto capital. By year 3, we'll have our own app, a community investment fund, and a thriving ecosystem of crypto opportunities. Imagine being part of a group that's shaping the future of finance. Join us for workshops, seminars, and networking events designed to boost your crypto knowledge and investment potential. From beginners to experts, there's a place for everyone in our vibrant community. Together, we'll navigate the exciting world of digital currencies and blockchain technology. Ready to take control of your financial future and be part of something revolutionary? Experience our exclusive resort in El Salvador, a paradise for crypto enthusiasts. Call or text 941-391-3882 to join our Owners Weekly Call and start your journey with Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today.